but hold on, that was good, I think.
We're live. All right, being that it's 7 o'clock, we're gonna call this town board meeting to order. The fire exits are outside that door and down each end of the hall. And there is a defibrillator across the hall for anybody who may need it. We will start with the pledge of allegiance to the flag and a moment of silence for all deceased residents of Hamlin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Will the clerk please do the roll call?
Hurlbut.
Here.
Mail.
Here.
Vocal.
Here.
Jaeger.
Here.
Bass.
Here. Seeing there is nobody in our audience, we will dispense with a public forum. Requesting town board resolution to approve the regular town board meeting minutes of August 8th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Hurlbut.
Yes.
Mail.
Yes.
Vocal.
Yes.
Jaeger.
Yes.
Bass.
Yes. Requesting town board resolution to approve the payment of bills from their respective funds.
So moved.
Second.
Hurlbut.
Yes.
Mail.
Yes.
Vocal.
Yes.
Jaeger.
Yes.
Bass.
Yes. Requesting town board resolution to approve the public hearing meeting minutes of August 3rd, 2022.
So moved.
Did you do that already?
No, she didn't even do
Second.
I'll second.
Hurlbut.
Yes.
Mail.
Yes.
it. The sewer public hearing meeting.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Vocal.
Yes.
Jaeger.
Yes.
Bass.
Yes. Requesting town board resolution to purchase 20.4 acres of land located at 7543 Roosevelt Highway, tax parcel 029.02-1-1.116 for the agreed on price of $40,000 for the purpose of future development, with monies being secured from the ARPA funds.
We got the easement, correct?
Yes.
For that property.
Yes. It came in last week.
So moved.
Second.
Hurlbut.
Yes.
Mail.
Yes.
Vocal.
Yes.
Jaeger.
Yes.
Bass.
Yes. Requesting town board resolutions to use $100,000 of ARPA funds for installation of the Hamlin Lakeshore Sewer District Number 1.
So moved.
Second.
Hurlbut.
Yes.
Mail.
Yes.
Vocal.
Yes.
Jaeger.
Yes.
Bass.
Yes. Requesting town board resolution to use $50,000 of ARPA funds for town of Hamlin road work completed by the highway department to offset the increase in material costs. Any questions, you guys? Just go
Yeah,
ahead.
how much has material going up?
So what I did last fall was put together a plan for, 12 years ago, Steve started a program of milling and paving every housing tract road in the town. Last year, when Steve left office, we were down to 5 roads left. So this year's plan was to do 3, we did do 3. We have our oil and stone program, and normally we would true and level a couple roads to have them ready for oil and stone next year. So all of those numbers put together at the end of last year would have left about $30,000 in contingent money. We haven't even done the true and leveling yet, and we're about 85,000 over what that was, what the whole thing was estimated at. That's how much it's gone up.
So this money is all just for that.
Yes.
To offset
To offset
what
that.
we've already done. Yep.
And we're still gonna be short of what we wanted to do.
So, and that's what's, I took Steve for a ride today because those other two roads are, there's certain spots on them that are dangerous. One is Weiler Road from Hamlin Center to Brick Schoolhouse. The other one is Martin Road from North Hamlin Road to the Parkway. 10 years ago, we did those as a cold pave. You know, you bring these companies out and they give you their best idea of what process you should use to do the rehab. So we tried those two roads and they're starting to come apart at the edges. They're coming apart where you come down to the stop sign because you're braking and trying to force that road surface loose. So there's a minimal repair that has to be done, but that's the other thing I wanted to ask you about is, you know, what would you allow me to do? I have money in my, what do you call the,
General
my fund balance
yeah.
Right.
that could move some of that. There's money in other parts of my budget that's not gonna be used that I've gone over with Norm that can be moved. But that amounts to another 50,000 on top of this to repair those two roads.
Which we'll talk about during the discussion part. Right now, we have to do this resolution.
Yep.
So
Did anyone make a motion?
No, not yet.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Robot,
Yes.
Mail,
Yes.
Vogel,
Yes.
Jaeger,
Yes.
Bus.
Yes. Requesting town board resolution to use $59,710.85 of ARPA funds for the cost of the new walking path and parking lot work done by the Hamlin Highway Department on town property. The walking path is in. The material has been bought, but the two parking lots have not been fixed. The one is all beat up, going into out there by the lodge, and then here in front of the library is gonna be redone. So we're just trying to move money right now into these funds, but this will cover that work. It is not done yet, the stone, like I said, stone's bought and stuff, but the work still has to be done, but that's, to just let you know, that's what it all is.
So I'll make a motion.
Second.
Robot,
Yes.
Mail,
Yes.
Vogel,
Yes.
Jaeger,
Yes.
Bus.
Yes. Requesting town board resolution to authorize the library to spend $6,160.96 from their fund balance to purchase 4 computers and 2 laptops as replacements for computers purchased in 2014.
So moved.
Second.
Robot,
Yes.
Mail,
Yes.
Vogel,
Yes.
Jaeger,
Yes.
Bus.
Yes. Requesting town board resolution to authorize the library to spend $3,751.65 from their capital fund for expenses related to the repair of their major air conditioning unit.
How old is the unit? What is it?
Well, since the beginning of the,
Yeah, since they built the
Since they built it.
library, but it's still not that old. It's,
They've seemed to have a lot of problems with that though.
no, they got two air conditioning units, a smaller one and a big one. The smaller one's been totally replaced.
yeah, the bigger ones.
This is the bigger one, it had a leak
Yeah.
in a few lines, like 2 or 3 different lines, and so they repair it and do a bunch of work on it.
Yeah.
And you figure that'll be good for,
Well, that was, I mean, that's the cost.
Well,
they can-
hopefully.
Yeah.
right.
No guarantee, I mean, no
Yeah,
guarantees,
I know.
but hopefully.
So I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Robot,
Yes.
Mail,
Yes.
Vogel,
Yes.
Jaeger,
Yes.
Bus.
Yes. Requesting town board resolution to make the following budget amendment moves for town board meeting 8/24/2022.
So,
Increase revenue account L0599 fund balance $3,751.65 and increase expense account L7410-416, heat and AC expense, $3,751.65. Increased revenue account, there's a bunch of them, I'm gonna just quickly read them and we'll do it.
Okay.
Increased revenue account L0599, fund balance $6,160.96, and increased expense account L7410456, technology and programming expense $6,160.96. Increased revenue account A4997, federal aid ARPA funds $15,000. That is the fund, just to let you know, that's the fund the state says you must make. It's a new fund and they're saying that's where you have to put your ARPA funds into. So you'll see that come up more and more, but it's what the state says. Increased expense account A7100.4, parks contractual, $15,000. Increased revenue account DA4997.00, federal aid ARPA funds, $50,000. Increased expense account DA5110.4, general repair contractual expense, $50,000.
Right.
What's the, just real quick, what's the 15,000 the parks contractual?
That is the parks are paying for the walking trail. So some of that 59,000 and stuff, some of that money came out of the parks, so that's why the 15,000.
To reimburse it.
To reimburse the park, because the park didn't have that kind of money. The park didn't have enough money for the walking trail, so it's coming from the ARPA funds. We're reimbursing the park for those funds.
Okay, but what about the rest of the? So the walking, okay, so the walking path must have been 15 and then it's because we just allocated 59,710 of ARPA?
The first part of the walking path, because the only bills we have in are for the stone and the machine to put the stone back in is represented with the 15,000. There's another bill for the machine to cut the trench, and then the other money to redo the parking lot. So Norm said that's sitting off in another account. This is just strictly to replenish the park's contractual for those two bills at this time.
Yeah, we said those coming in, so that
All right.
we had to move this money. We gotta start moving money to get underneath that $700,000 amount.
I'll make
So
a motion.
Second,
Okay, go.
Robot,
Yes.
Mail,
yes.
Vocal,
Yeah.
Jaeger,
Yes.
Buzz.
Yes. Discussion. Now, Mike. No discussion. I know you got through more of it now about this. Any more discussion on what he was talking about with roads? I went with him today and looked at them. Norm and I are gonna look more at the budget and see what kind of money is not gonna be spent this year. We did look at some and we recognize some that won't be spent this year. Retirement funds and stuff like that we can move around and stuff. So the highway department may not need the whole 50,000, but we probably have to give them an okay tonight to work on these roads, to get them done now in the summertime at least. And maybe we'll ask for like 50,000 tonight, up to 50,000, but it may turn out to only be 10, 15,000. But we are gonna give them permission, if we do it, we're gonna give them permission to work on these roads and get them done. But we still may take some funds away, but
You're gonna start these now, right? Or no?
yes.
Would the money for these two roads come out of the 50,000 that was already moved for ARPA, or would that be separate?
That 50,000 offset the paving that we already did.
Okay,
Because, so to answer your question, out of the 240,000 that I was budgeted, road work for this year that we've already done, that should have been right at 200, 210, was 280. And not completing everything. That's how much it's gone up.
The blacktop went up at least $20 a ton, depending on which brand of blacktop you get. The stone for oil and stone went up from like $12 or $13 a ton to 17. Just to answer some of your questions.
Why wouldn't we use ARPA funds for, more ARPA funds for highway then? To cover these?
We can, just don't know right now, and during budget time, we'll talk more about what we wanna use the rest of the ARPA funds for and everything like that, but we are still trying to, we know there's gonna be some spots where he's got funds left over in the highway department budget that we can just move around, like I always used to move around. In December, you're moving stuff all over the place.
And really, in the budget, there's 3 contractual accounts that were painful this year, because 2 of them are used for diesel fuel, and 1 of them is used for road work.
I was just gonna ask, where are we at with fuel?
Fuel's out, we spent $13,000 in fuel last month.
Right, compared to what the budget is, it's gotta be
It's
way over.
We're not over yet, we're down to about $30,000 in those accounts. So some of that money that Steve's talking about is in other places, is gonna have to offset them.
Right,
The budget transfer. Those are the 3 things that have hurt. Diesel fuel's been
right.
out of sight. I mean,
If we,
Yeah, I know.
if we don't allocate some of this ARPA money right now, we probably won't be able to do those roads.
Right,
This is gonna be a safety net. There may be money, but we don't know with everything else going on, diesel fuel prices and everything else, so we don't dare do those roads without this ARPA money right now. It's kinda like a safety net. So we can
so
say
you're looking
up
for,
to a certain
you're
amount.
looking for an additional 50,000,
Yeah, it's 40-some thousand actually is what we figured, but
not
to say
to exceed
50,000 round figures.
50,000.
Do you think you'll have a better idea after going through all the accounts and stuff, like how much the actual shortage is to get what you need
we went
done for
through
the
them
year?
today, and well, Steve and Norm and I, we both went through them, and it looks like there's about 70,000 to move from other areas, but 35 of that is already gone. So that leaves, that's not a huge cushion, that 35. And then these projects, and that 35 is still to offset fuel. So that's my question, either ARPA or a budget amendment to pull more out of my
Fund balance.
out of my fund balance, because there's money in the fund balance. So however you wanna do it, and that's the thing, there's 2 ways, we can fix them or we can patch them. Is next year gonna be any better? I don't know. And it was funny, Steve and I went out today, we drove those roads, and as soon as I got back and was talking with Phil, the guy walked in the office, he says, "When are you gonna fix Weiler Road?" So it's funny you mentioned that. He says, "That is the worst road in this town." I know.
So we should do this tonight, right? I mean, that's.
We can do this tonight and then you can work on it. We may not, like I say, we may not need the whole amount of money.
We just put it in there.
We're just gonna put it in there so at least he can get the work done before, it gets too late in the year and everything to do it. And then we can, in a month or so, I mean, it doesn't have to, bills won't come in for at least a month for what he's doing. It's a month out when you do the work till you get the bills. So it'll be a month or so before we know, but that's plenty of time. It's not even September yet. We'll know by October, November, what we need to use of that 450,000 and everything else.
Well, if you do a budget amendment tonight, then you could move that money around, but then
We're not doing a budget amendment tonight.
You'd have to-
Authorizing him to do it and we will spend up to $50,000 to back it up. Right, tonight's not a real.
we don't have to dedicate where it's coming from.
Not tonight.
Okay.
We just gotta approve. I will dedicate that that's coming out of the ARPA funds tonight, so the resolution, but the state makes us, we have to have a resolution. For every dollar we spend of ARPA money, it's gotta be a resolution. We don't have to use, I have to tell where that money's coming from. We can't spend $1 of it without saying that. The state's got some rules with this ARPA funds, how we're supposed to do it.
Right.
Yeah, ARPA instead of fund balance, either one, we'd have to do a resolution, sounds like.
But we don't know how much money we're gonna use of it, so we're not gonna do a fund movement or anything tonight. We're not gonna change any funds yet tonight. We're gonna say we can use it, up to.
If,
So can't we just authorize them to use up to $50,000?
Yes, that's all we're gonna do tonight.
And then once we get the bills in, we can say where it's coming from? Or do we have to
Yes,
say?
no, I'll say tonight it's coming out up to 50,000, but then when you get the actual bills, we'll have a resolution saying that
specifically, if it's coming out of the
Specifically-
budget amendment or,
it's $25,700 coming out of the ARPA funds going to this account.
okay.
Okay. So is that, any more questions? All right, requesting town board resolution to authorize to spend up to $50,000 of ARPA funds for town of Hamlin highway maintenance work.
So moved,
Second.
Robot,
Yes.
Mail,
yes.
Vocal,
Yes.
Jaeger,
Yes.
Bus.
Yes. Is that it?
That's it, thank you.
Do you have any discussion?
I have a little bit,
Okay,
just to bring you guys up to speed what we've been doing. We sent out all the letters to our farmers last week requesting them to come in and make appointments to update all of their ag information, their lease agreements, their soil maps. And I've had quite a few come in and they've been pretty good, pretty receptive. They're not real happy about having to do new soil maps, but they understand. And you know, today I actually gave an example to Joe Heverly on one piece of land he had, how much money his one exemption saved him on one piece. And he's like, well, and he was complaining, but jokingly, about only having to get soil maps, where I have two farmers who have to get 18 to 20 soil maps and are spending $800. But you know, when I showed him a breakdown on, I think it was 53 acres of land, he was getting a $50,000 exemption. I broke it down to the tax rate of the school district it was in, and he was saving just on that one piece, $1,900, just on one piece. So I kind of did a report that I want to give you guys an example of how much ag land I actually have and how much exempt it is. So I have $34,861,347 total assessed land. That's all in ag and out of ag district. And out of that, 23 million is exempt. That's a lot. That's a real lot. So the farmers are really benefiting from these ag exemptions. So we are only seeing 11 million in taxable assessed value on it. Do you follow how it breaks down? And I have a total of 296 parcels total that are benefiting from this exemption. 39 are out of my ag district. 257 are in ag. We're trying to get everybody in ag. It benefits by farm credit, it benefits when it comes to permits, it benefits when it comes to noise ordinance. It's not for everybody, but my big farmers definitely benefit from it. But I kind of just want to give you guys a breakdown. I mean, that's huge how much money they're saving with these ag exemptions. So hopefully they don't have to do soil maps again for another 20 years. So if they have to spend $800 now, they're saving millions in over a 20-year period in taxes by doing these soil maps. So they've been great though, everybody's been good. So that's gone good. We went out and started data collecting one day last week before my letters went out. I've just been bombarded with everybody coming in, but That didn't go great. I started with the letter A's and I was taking pictures and we were, going through the roads, and just on Alderbush, 3 residents came out and asked what we were doing. I mean, that's a lot within an hour. You know what I'm saying? So I gave him my business card. I introduced myself. I told him what I was doing. I told him a reassessment project is coming and I'm preparing for it. And I explained the reassessment process to him and how it works, but I gotta get more information out there to the residents somehow, so they're not running out of the house and saying, what are you doing? You know what I mean? I need to borrow a truck from you guys. Phil gave me a dump truck last week.
It was all he had.
Yeah, I can't do that with a
Safety
dump
truck
truck.
he had.
You don't got any pickup trucks I can use?
They were all out on a county job.
Well, can we get together on a schedule for a pickup truck?
You give me a schedule, you'll have a truck.
Perfect.
But you called him that morning and he didn't have a truck.
I did, because of the letters going out, I wasn't sure. And I get it, so we took Jeanette's truck.
Yeah.
So I get it. But I don't want the residents to be alarmed. That's not what this is about. I wanna try to, I'm just taking pictures. I tell them I'm updating. Every 8 years, pictures are supposed to be taken. It's probably been 13 years, maybe even longer. I'm just looking for decks, pools. We actually found 6 pools. 6 pools that were never on inventory, just on one street. So, I mean, it's good that I'm doing this. It's just to get the inventory right. I just don't want to alarm the residents.
Would you like to write something up for the next newsletter so we can put that out there for people
Didn't
to
we do
see?
that the last one though? I thought we did.
I think we talked about it earlier this month, about getting it in the September one.
Okay, we can do
So
that.
if you wanna write something up for me, I can get that in there.
And on the website,
And on the website, and I'm sending my data mailers. That was the other thing. As soon as I'm done with this egg thing, and I'm gonna keep data collecting, I'm sending a data mailer to all the residents, requesting them to fill it out and send it back. I probably will only get 25% back, but, I gotta take what I can get. So a letter will go with the data mailer explaining what I'm doing, the reassessment's coming. I tell everybody when they come in, they ask me, I'm very honest about it. I tell them, I'm waiting a year to see what the market does. I'm auditing all my exemptions, I'm data collecting, so we're going into the reassessment with everything done. You know what I mean? So.
Do you have Town of Hamlin apparel, something that says?
I do
Town
have a
of
shirt.
Hamlin?
I do have shirts, and I think I did wear it that day, but they just see somebody taking a picture
Yeah.
from the truck,
oh, I would too, yeah,
I'd come out and ask.
I would too.
We'll
But,
put you
they're
in
cool.
the army truck next time, you won't come out.
Right.
I think they're being invaded.
No, I think you need a prime smile for the side of her vehicle.
Yeah, right?
There you go.
But anyways, that's it. We've just been very busy, but it's good busy.
Are you gonna continue doing the visits when you have time before the newsletter stuff goes out? Is
The
there?
data collecting?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so,
Well,
I
it goes
wonder-
out the middle of next week.
Did you put it out on Facebook and stuff for the end of this week if Liz is out, maybe
Yeah, if she gets me something written up, what she wants to say, we can put it up on Facebook and up on the website.
Put it out on the community pages and stuff.
Do you mean data collecting or data mailers? They're two different
Just-
things.
just
I'm not gonna data collect
you
by
going
next week.
around.
There's
Okay,
no way, 'cause I
okay.
have all these
Yeah, that
appointments
was
with farmers
yeah,
back
that
to
was my
back.
question.
So we can do that. The data mailers probably aren't going out till October to every single resident, but I will be data collecting, say after next week, because Jeanette's working in court for a week, so it's just me with the farmers
Right.
right now. So say within the next 2 weeks, I'll get back out on the road and data collect. Okay,
Okay.
I'm gone the last 2 weeks in September, I'm on vacation, but hopefully we get all this data collecting done. I'm hoping before the snow flies and all the photos done. And then I can just start working on my models and stuff, so it takes a good year and a half. But I think we're okay.
And I apologize before, I should have said for the cameras that our town assessor, Liz Spencer,
Oh,
is the one who's been talking.
I'm gonna just add something, you're done, Liz?
I am, I do have a list for you, Phil, and I have gone through it. I've asked every farmer too for addition for people who they farm that do not have an ag exemption. And they're gonna get me lists also.
Okay, great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, we had our farmland protection plan meeting Wednesday night. And we went through a survey that the town of Farmington did in their plan. And we're tweaking that, adding a couple of things. And that will be going out hopefully in the next month to all landowners, that both farmers and rent to farmers, to help us with some data for the farmland protection plan. So that should be going out in the next month hopefully. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Then I will. The county just sent us our tax receipts for the second quarter of this year. $274,078.03. This compares to $271,486.92 from last year, the same quarter. So it went up $3,000 over last year, so it's not too bad with all the price and everything of it. So we're doing well. I said, it's county, I just wanted to let you know that. Our mailing system, IMS, the people we had to go pick up our mail, have quit picking up mail in Monroe County. So Norm and I are looking for somebody else and looking at the post office, where we go back to stamping our own mail and everything. We are checking into all that right now.
How many different,
There's not a lot
I
of
was gonna say, how many,
It's one in Batavia.
that picks the mail up.
I don't know if they pick up in Monroe.
That's what we're trying to look for, to pick up. There's a lot of them that you can drop mail off to, but very few that pick it up. We're looking. We've reached out to other towns too. There is another person out there, so we're checking on that that other towns use. But we, just to let you know, we are working on that, what's going on. Ed Evans, who is in charge of the CCC camp, sent a very nice email about our recreation department. They took the kids down there for a day just to hear him tell them all the history facts and everything about the prisoners of war and everything down there. So I'm just gonna read this so it's on, and I'll give it to the clerk so that she can put it in the minutes. Ed Evans, who is in charge of the CCC camp, sent a wonderful email on how well the children behaved and how well the recreation staff handled everything during a recent summer camp tour to the CCC camp on Moscow Road. We want to thank everyone involved with this positive example of good things happening in Hamlin.
Nice.
He said they did very well, and it's much appreciated to Ed and to our recreation for that went through.
it's nice to hear some positive news.
Yes, yes. Barring no more discussion, at 7:35, we'll make a motion to go into executive session for budget concerns.
So moved?
Second.
Probut,
Yes.
Mail,
Yes.
Vogel,
Yes.
Jaeger,
Yes.
Best.